Texas was once home to thousands of springs, but over the past century, hundreds of them have disappeared, threatening the water on which millions of Texans depend. That's because our rivers begin as springs. After a good rain, our rivers flow heavy and strong for a few days. But long after the rains have gone, they keep flowing, fed by a steady supply of groundwater in the form of springs. In a typical year, anywhere from 15 to 40% of the water in a Texas river may come from springs. During dry years, springs are even more important. Consider the Guadalupe River, which draws thousands of tubers every summer. By the time it reaches the chemical refineries in Victoria, 80% of the river may be from springs that started as groundwater hundreds of miles away. The problem is, as our population grows and droughts get longer, groundwater pumping is increasing around the state. When we pump more than nature puts back in, the groundwater level falls. Eventually, springs stop flowing and rivers go stagnant or run completely dry. Groundwater pumping has already dried up hundreds of springs across Texas. A trend that is likely to continue since we plan to lower groundwater levels even more over the next 50 years by as much as hundreds of feet. In Texas, keeping water flowing is made even more complicated by our water laws. Rivers are the property of the state, but groundwater is private property, meaning that decisions to pump groundwater may be perfectly legal, even if it dries up the water that everyone else depends on. But Texas law also says that we can balance the water that belongs to individuals with the water that belongs to all of us. We have the right to create groundwater conservation districts, which can limit the amount of water we pump to keep springs flowing. So far, only a handful of districts have groundwater pumping limits that protect springs, leaving most of Texas rivers unprotected. Can we grow while keeping water flowing for future generations? We have the tools. It's up to us to use them.